Mutt TV, episode 12, take 1.
Good evening, Mutt Militia. I am chris.sb.sanchez.
I'm Zachary Mead Scow.
This is Mutt TV, where we answer all your Mutt questions.
Indeed, fired up.
Mutt. So let's get right into it. I got 3 questions.
All right.
Straight from the interweb.
Straight from the internets.
Kathy asks, what is your take on the controversy around Cesar Millan?
Oh, my take on the controversy. There is indeed controversy around Cesar Millan, in case you guys haven't noticed. Some people, like myself, have followed the Dog Whisperer for a long time. I used to watch the Dog Whisperer when I was in the hospital. It's one of the things that motivated me to become a dog rescuer. I've loved the guy for a long time, and then since I've got to work with him, I kind of expected that I would debunk a bunch of his practices. You know, that you show up there and you see him in action, and you kind of assume that a lot of his stuff is tricked around camera work and set up for TV. You know, that watching it in real time, it wouldn't pan out the way it does. But when you see him to the contrary, when you see him in real life, what he performs on a daily basis is unreal. And what he's able to do with scared dogs, frightened dogs, excited dogs, aggressive dogs, dogs that, not like this, but that we deal with on a daily basis, shelter dogs. What he's able to do with shelter dogs and rescue dogs is really remarkable. And what his knowledge could do to help our field, and that is making dogs more adoptable, rescue dogs more adoptable, is really paramount to our success. I think for a large part of it is he's a huge success, and people are envious. And when you're as big as he is, you have a target on your back, and some people elected to take a shot at him. A lot of people, you see his techniques as aggressive. If you spend any time with the guy, you'd know that he doesn't have a harmful soul in his body, bone in his body. That his soul is pure when it comes to the dogs. He just wants to do good, help them, and give back. And I think a lot of people just don't know him and don't care to know him. But I know him well enough to know that, and I know his techniques well enough to know that he's a good person. His techniques are really solid and affect greatly what we do on a daily basis in a positive way. And without them, a huge percentage of us rescuers wouldn't be doing what we're doing because we wouldn't have the tools to do it. Cesar Millan's techniques give us the tools to work with the dogs that we work with. Period. End of story. And his techniques do involve positive reinforcement. The positive reinforcement community assumes that, you know, Cesar's all shush and contact and aggression, and they misinterpret a lot of his terms. But if they just spent a day with the guy, I think they'd be convinced otherwise.
Kathy is a Cesar Millan supporter.
Cool. Shout out, Kathy.
Jennifer asks, since surgery, is there anything she can do or anyone else can do to help? I'm a firm believer in positive vibrations, and just knowing that you guys care about me is greatly appreciated. The back's getting better. The first 5 weeks were brutal. I really didn't want to share with you guys how brutal it was. Things just weren't getting better. They were getting worse, and I was having pain and nerve problems where I hadn't before. What went wrong with me was my nerve got cut off, so I still have pretty significant nerve damage in my right foot and right leg as a result of herniated discs. So, but I'm starting to get better. I had my follow-up yesterday, and I'm starting to feel better. I'm walking a lot more. My range of motion is good. So, just keep pulling for me and keep sending positive vibrations. That's all you can do. Final question. Melissa, who is from Northern California. When will Blanco be up for adoption?
Blanco? That's a very good question. Jason from NorCal should have this. But Blanco is actually up for adoption, and I think we've got a really good family lined up. Jason's been doing some work up there with the Northern California community, and I think in the process he's found a really good adopter for Blanco. So fingers crossed in the next week or two we'll be announcing Blanco's adopter. How
is his training come along?
Blanco?
Yeah.
He's doing terrific. Blanco, when he stayed here, you know, they stayed here for a number of days on a couple of occasions, and he did excellent. He did really, really well. It's just a matter of controlling our energy, you know, people's energy around him, and controlling his energy. It's important to keep Blanco, like a lot of pit bull and strong breed dogs. We have to keep their energy low in order to have them be more workable and more agreeable, and that's up to us to work on that. When we provide a high energy atmosphere, consistently, it doesn't bode well often, especially when a dog's just coming into or out of rehab.
And Melissa will continue to donate, which we appreciate very much.
Thank you kindly.
I got some hard mail here.
Yep.
But this is from Gwen.
Gwen,
Oh.
that's G. Gwen Harrod.
Mutt fan.
Mutt fan out of Oxnard, California. I actually called Gwen on the phone today. Tried to leave her a message, but it didn't work. Gwen sent us some hand-knit beanies, one of which I'm wearing, which is pretty rad. And she also knows that Chris likes purple. So she sent a... she knitted these, man. Cindy already stole one. That's the reason the bag's open. Cindy stole one, and she's got it on her melon. And Chris got the purple one. He's got a much significantly smaller head that holds an equal amount of brain, despite the disparity in head size.
I don't know about that.
So thank you very much for that, Gwen. We appreciate it.
So a couple,
Matches my flannel.
couple things. How's Splinter doing?
Splinter's doing great. Splinter got out of surgery. Doc McDonald has been keeping me updated all day, and he's doing terrific. Really, really doing well. They removed an enormous tumor that was connected to his spleen. You guys came up to the plate and knocked it out of the park in a big way. I think we got 275 donations in a period of 36 hours, which is a day and a half. 265 separate people donated, or something. 75, mind-boggling. Which enabled us to push him into surgery immediately. He's in the ICU now. He's on EKG being monitored. Doc's checking in with him all the time, and he'll be ready to go home probably tomorrow night. Doc will probably foster him and keep him at the hospital for a few days, and then I might pick him up. We're going to be on Good Day LA on Monday morning at 6 or 6:30 or whatever time Good Day LA is, and I hope hopefully Diamond and myself, or possibly the little man Tango here and myself, are going to do Good Day LA. Just introduce a dog, and I'll probably pick him up then and bring him back. So
cool.
Yeah, he's doing excellent.
Speaking of this little guy, I know he came from Korea, and I know there's tons of controversy. I mean, I know he didn't come from the meat trade. There's a lot of questions, controversies, this and that. Can you shed some light on the situation?
I can. I thought, you want to take him? So, one of the things you guys have to understand about Tango here is that he did not himself come from the meat trade. People make funny jokes about, is that how he lost his leg? That's not how he lost his leg. He got hit by a car or a train. Nami, who is the gal in charge of the organization that we team with in Korea, found him as a stray. But the two other dogs that came with him on the flight from Korea are meat trade dogs. And the meat trade in Korea is a controversial topic, obviously. It should be noted that a small percentage of the Korean population, engages in the consumption of dog meat, but it is nonetheless still a $2 billion industry in Korea, and up to $2 million dogs are slaughtered a year for the meat trade. And these are dogs that are raised in essentially chicken coops. They don't leave their kennels. They're raised like livestock. They're killed like livestock. And the supposed benefit of the meat trade of dog meat is virility. It's the same kind of people that are snorting rhino horn are the same people that are eating dog meat. They also claim that it does things like help keep your body temperature down when there's heat waves. Ridiculous stuff like that. Needless to say, it's a topic that we want to bring to Bakersfield and bring to our fans so that people can learn about it. We've also teamed up with a group called Soy Dog Foundation out of Thailand. They have a rescue. They have a center in Bangkok and Phuket, and we'll hopefully be bringing over a couple dogs from there. And the point is dog meat trade is a practice that needs to be eliminated. Period. There's no reason why we need to be eating our dogs. especially knowing what we know about the human-canine bond and what they can provide for us. My guess of it is by the end of this experience, I'll probably be a vegan. Who knows? But the meat trade, again, it's a small percentage of the Korean population that engages in dog meat consumption. But they have huge factory farms that keep these dogs in deplorable conditions. They slaughter them in front of each other, and in the most tense of moments. They want their adrenaline to be pumping while they're slaughtered because it apparently makes the meat better. And I have no intentions of being disparaging towards the Korean population. And for the vast majority of the Korean population is diametrically opposed to these practices, especially the younger population. But nonetheless, it's a topic just like any other that might be uncomfortable to talk about, but we need to bring it up and we need to introduce it to Kern County and to our fans so that we can write letters, so that we can affect change, so that we can contact politicians. There are laws on the books in Korea that ban or limit certain types of these practices, but they're not being followed through on. So we want to, it's something that we want to help out with. It's because we can. We have such a huge reach on social media that I figure that it's important that we do so. So I hope you guys support us in that, and I think it's a valiant cause to be a part of.
Well, that is unfortunately all the time we have for this episode.
We didn't make it in under 10 minutes. I thought we were going to do under 10. For Justin Deckant and Delaney Deckant, I was going to try and get it in under 10. They've probably already turned it off.
Then they don't see your apology.
Dang it. That's a good point.
So have a wonderful week and weekend. I am Christopher Michael Sanchez.
I'm Zachary Meadscow. Adios.